Hello everyone, my name is Peter. Today I'm going to go over a few idioms. To cost an arm and a leg. This is an expression used to mean something is extremely expensive. Like for example, you are actually losing your arm and your leg. So it costs you an arm and a leg. This idiom means it is very expensive. For example, the dress cost an arm and a leg, meaning it was extremely expensive. Butterflies in your stomach. If you have butterflies in your stomach, it means you are nervous about something. For example, it's your first day at work. You're meeting someone for a first date. It's that feeling you get in your stomach of jitters, of nervousness, to say, I have butterflies in my stomach. Means you feel nervous. To speak your mind. When we say, go ahead, speak your mind, this means say exactly what you're thinking. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me exactly what you are thinking. Speak your mind. It shows exactly how you are feeling. Raining cats and dogs. This is an expression to mean it is raining heavily. It is pouring out. Another idiom is it is raining hammer and nails. We took that idiom from a German idiom, but more popular is it's raining cats and dogs. Again, this means it is raining heavily. Down to earth. To say someone is down to earth means they are very realistic. The opposite would be to have your head in the clouds. So if you say someone is a very down to earth person, it means they live in reality. They are realistic about outcomes. It doesn't just mean that she's a practical person. It more has to do with someone that is living in reality, is realistic, someone you can relate to. Again, the opposite of someone that's down to earth would be someone with their head in the clouds. Eat your words. When someone tells you that you will eat your words, it means that you are wrong. Whatever you had said is incorrect, and they're going to prove you wrong, and you will end up eating your words. A close idiom would be to eat crow. So when you are wrong, the example is, I think you will accept you are wrong about something you said. So to eat your own words is admitting you were wrong, and whatever you said, you take back and admit is a mistake. To eat one's words. To hang out. James and Sam will be hanging out at the park. To hang out just means to be together, not really doing anything. You're just together with nothing specific in mind. You're just together doing whatever. You are hanging out. The example they give is James and Sam will be spending time together at the park. You can hang out anywhere. I'm going to my friend's house and we are just going to hang out. It means I have nothing specific to do. We don't know what we're going to do except that we will be together. We're going to hang out. When you're hanging out, you can do all sorts of activities. You could be playing video games, watching a movie, talking. You're still just hanging out. It slipped my mind. To slip your mind means you completely forgot about something. For example, someone invites you out to dinner on Tuesday. Let's say they invite you out for lunch. You have a dentist appointment that same day. So as Tuesday comes up and your friend asks, "Are you ready for lunch?" You'd say, "I have a dentist appointment. It completely slipped my mind," meaning I completely forgot about something. No, I forgot to do something. Cross your fingers. To cross your fingers is a sign of hope, good luck. To hope that something comes out the way you want. When someone is wishing for good luck, you'll tell them, "I'll cross my fingers for you." This means, I hope you succeed. Good luck on the test, cross your fingers. The opposite, if you don't think you're gonna do well and someone tells you, "Do well on the exam," and you say, "I wouldn't cross my fingers," that means there's no hope. I'm not going to pass the exam. So we can either say, "Cross your fingers," meaning good luck, or "I wouldn't cross my fingers," meaning there's not much hope. So again, good luck or hope. To be in hot water. I'm in hot water with my mother. This means you're in trouble. You've done something wrong. To be in hot water means you are in some sort of trouble. Whether it's a child that did something wrong and is going to be punished with their mother, to something more severe, such as something terrible happens and you're in a lot of trouble, then you're really in hot water. If you upset your spouse, you could say, "I'm in hot water with my wife or husband," meaning I'm in big trouble. I'm in trouble with my mother. Learning to drive was a piece of cake. Piece of cake. To say something was a piece of cake means it was extremely easy. The job was a piece of cake. We may also say it was a plum job. Plum like the fruit. This also means it was very easy. So learning to drive was very easy. It was a piece of cake. Give it a shot. This means to at least try. Try to do something. If you need to go do something and you're like, "Oh, I can't do it. There's no way." Your friend may say, "Come on, at least give it a shot." This means at least try. To give it a shot means to just try at something. So to give it a shot is to give it a try. Sitting on top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world right now. To be sitting on top of the world means you are feeling great, like you can do anything. Another idiom would be to be on cloud nine. They have slightly different meanings. Cloud nine, you feel you're on top of the world because of love. That is to be on cloud nine. To be on top of the world is you are just so happy and feeling so great about something. Nothing can bother you. You're on top of the world. Everything is wonderful. Everything is going your way. Perhaps you took an exam, scored extremely high, got into the university you wanted, received a scholarship. Everything seems great. You are on top of the world. We are taking a big step by moving to a new house. Taking a big step. This means a big change, doing something great, something very different than you're used to. great change is involved or moving forward. Again, we are making a big change by moving from one house to another. So taking a big step generally means a great change. Don't let the cat out of the bag. This is also the same as don't spill the beans. This idiom refers to please keep a secret and don't tell anyone. The cat being the secret, the bag being you or your mouth. Don't let the secret out of your mouth. Don't let the cat out of the bag. So please keep this a secret. We are going to have a surprise party for Jane. Please don't let the cat out of the bag. Or please don't spill the beans. This means don't let her find out. Or someone might have information they're not telling you, and you would tell them, spill the beans, meaning tell me everything. Or it's time to let the cat out of the bag, meaning time to share your secrets. So don't tell a secret. To be second to none. This is another way of saying you are the best at something. You are number one. You are second to no one. For example, if somebody is really great at something, you would say, he is second to none when it comes to cooking. Or at football, he is second to none, meaning he is the best. There is nobody that you are second to. So you are the very best. Second to none, to be the best at something. I had a change of heart. To have a change of heart doesn't only mean to change your mind. It means something happened emotionally to make you change your mind. So just changing your mind does not mean to have a change of heart. It could be that you were against a certain situation and someone explained it to you differently, and this appealed to you emotionally, and so your heart changed your mind. So you have a change of heart based on emotion. So it doesn't just mean to change your mind. You changed your mind for a specific emotional reason. To draw a blank. I drew a blank on that person's name. To draw a blank is when someone knows the answer and they can't remember it. They just can't picture it. If you ask someone a question and they're like, I draw a blank. I'm just drawing a blank. That means I just can't remember it. I just don't know. I should know, but I don't know. So it doesn't just mean I can't remember. It could be, it has more to do with you're thinking really hard and there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing in your mind reminding you of what the answer should be. I have mixed feelings about going to school. To have mixed feelings means you have more than one emotion. You have both positive and negative, meaning you have mixed feelings. Perhaps you're starting a new job and there are many good reasons that you like about this job, and there are many bad reasons that you don't like about the job. So if someone says, how do you feel about starting your new job? I have mixed feelings about it. Someone could tell you something and ask you how you feel about it. Whatever they told you, you may not completely agree with or disagree with. You have ideas that are both pro and con, giving you mixed feelings about the situation. So in the example, I have mixed feelings about going to school. I am unsure how I feel about going to school. No, that is not completely correct. You are sure about how you feel. It's just you have opposing feelings. You have both positive, negative. You have different emotions. So it's not that you're unsure. It's that you have opposing thoughts on it, which could lead you to be unsure about which direction to go in. Read between the lines. This is when someone is either telling you something or you are reading something or watching something, and it does not directly come out and tell you what it means. You have to look deeper and figure it out for yourself. You are reading between the lines. So when someone is telling you something, they may be hinting at what they actually want without saying it's what they want. For example, if your 16-year-old is telling you, wow, I really like your car, Dad. It must be really nice being able to drive and go wherever you want. Oh, I hear you're buying a new car. Oh, it's going to be nice. You're going to have 2 cars, but your old car is going to just be sitting there. No one's going to be driving it. What a shame. If you read between the lines, your 16-year-old is telling you, I turned 16, I can drive now. Can I please have your car? That would be an example of reading between the lines to find the hidden meaning. Did you get a kick out of that game? Did you enjoy the game? To get a kick out of something doesn't just mean enjoy. You can get a kick out of something meaning it was funny or made you laugh. You enjoyed it. So yeah, I guess it does pretty much mean to enjoy something. I really got a kick out of your friend Harry. He was really funny. So to get a kick out of him means you enjoyed him or he was very funny. This car is a ripoff. A ripoff means it is far too expensive for what it is worth. They are ripping you off. They are taking advantage of you. Perhaps there is an item that everywhere it's only $5 and you see it at another store for $20 and your friend is like, oh, I've always wanted this, let's buy it. It's like, no, that's an absolute ripoff. They're charging $20. It's only $5 everywhere else. So a ripoff is to be charged something far above what it is worth. That car is too expensive. That is not a good example. A car could be too expensive for you because it's a Lamborghini or a Porsche or a highly expensive sports car, but it's well worth the money they're asking for. So just because it's too expensive for you does not make it a ripoff. Charging you more than it's worth by quite a bit, that is a ripoff. It's in the bag. That means no problem. I've got this. Perhaps you are assigned a task and someone asks you, how is that task going? You'd say, it's in the bag, meaning no problems. I've got this. It's certain. Again, in the bag could mean it's certain in the way that it's definite. Sort of like if you are looking for an item, you don't have it yet, But if you put that item in your bag, you know you have it. So to say it's in the bag, it's a certainty because you have it in your bag. I'm all ears. This is an older idiom that means I'm completely ready to listen to you, meaning I'm just ears, not going to talk. All ears. So to be all ears is telling someone that you are willing to listen to them and just be there to listen. You have my full attention. It does also mean that. So when somebody wants to talk to you and they're not exactly looking for you to be talking back to them a lot, and you want to let them know you're there more to listen to them, you'd say, I'm all ears. Or if someone's going to give you important instructions and you want to let them know you are paying attention to the fullest, you would say, I'm all ears, meaning I'm ready to listen. You have my full attention. It came out of the blue. Blue being the sky, something came from nowhere. So when you say something came out of the blue, it was unexpected. It came from nowhere. Many times this is used in unfortunate events. Somebody died for no reason. They weren't old, they weren't sick. You'd say, he died out of the blue, meaning from nowhere. It just happened. Or somebody calls you up you haven't heard from in 20 years. You'd say, my old friend from high school called me out of the blue, meaning unexpected, with no reason, and you were not expecting it in any way. So something that came with no warning is one meaning, but it also just means it randomly happened with no explanation. To come out of the blue. We're in the same boat. We generally tell this to people, we're all in the same boat. It means that you are all in the same situation. So perhaps you are arguing over something, but whatever it is, it's going to affect the both of you. So you say, hey, we may disagree on a lot of things, but for this topic, we're all in the same boat. It's going to affect us all. For example, climate change. As the climate changes, no matter what country you live in, what religion you are, what language you speak, we are all in the same boat. We all live on the planet Earth, meaning this problem affects all of us. So we are all in the same boat. Their definition is we are in the same situation as each other, which is true. But we generally use this to remind people that are arguing with us that the problem we're arguing about affects us both equally. It's not as if whatever we decide is only going to affect me and not you, because we are in the same boat. So sometimes we have to be reminded that problems affect all of us. I have a shot at making the team. To have a shot at something, it means you have a chance. You've been given a chance. Perhaps there is a job that you were not expecting that you would ever be able to get, and they call you for an interview. Now, you have not necessarily gotten the job, but you have a shot at getting the job because you have at least gotten an interview. So again, to have a shot at something means you have a chance at it. I'm having second thoughts about going to work. To have second thoughts means you're starting to change your mind. What you originally thought you are thinking something different. So you had your first original thought and you start doing it, and then you have a new thought. This would be a second thought. So to have second thoughts about something means to start thinking about changing your mind to do something different. Perhaps your friends convinced you to do something that would get you into trouble. You originally agreed to do it, and then you started thinking about all the trouble it could get you in. And you'd call and tell them, I'm sorry, I had second thoughts and I've changed my mind. So when you're having second thoughts, you're rethinking what you were originally going to do. So it says, I'm having doubts about going to work. Does not necessarily mean you are having doubts. It just means you are having a different thought about whatever you are going to do. It doesn't have to be a doubt. He's a basket case. A basket case is a crazy person. This idiom actually comes from a pretty terrible time in history. It comes from, I believe, World War I. People that had lost both arms and legs in the war and could literally fit in a basket and had lost their mind from the war. And since all that was left of them could fit in a basket, they became known as a basket case. This is a terribly sad, horrible idiom where it originates from. But today, to say a basket case would mean someone's crazy. Perhaps you have a crazy friend. And when I say crazy, I don't mean like a little bit crazy. I mean completely lost their mind, not in touch with reality. You'd say, no way, that person is a basket case, meaning completely insane. Or nowadays, we would say batshit crazy. So the more modern idiom to basket case is batshit crazy. To play it by ear. I have never heard it used this way. This is perhaps either British or this is a mistake the company has made. We in the United States say, let's play it by year. Not ear, but year, as in there are 365 days in a year. It means let's not make a plan and see how things turn out. That is correct for let's play it by year, meaning let's just see what happens and then decide. Perhaps you are going to take a trip somewhere. Instead of making a detailed plan of where you will go, where you will stay, where you will eat, you'll say, let's just play it by ear, meaning once you get there, you'll decide what you're going to do, decide where you're going to eat, or you want to meet up with friends next week. And they say, how about Wednesday we go apple picking? You say, next week is really crazy for me. Let's play it by year and see what happens. This means I want to see you next week, but I can't commit to definitely going to pick apples with you on Wednesday. We'll see what happens next week and go from there. Can you and your brothers get your act together? Get your act together means to be mature, to get your life together, to decide what you want. Let's see what they say. It says, can you and your brothers behave properly? To get your act together can mean can you please behave? But to get your act together also could be said to a friend that is an adult, but they're still very immature. They are not really thinking about their life. They make poor decisions, and you tell them, you need to get your act together. That means you need to mature, you need to grow up, you need to decide what you want to do. You can't keep living like this. Get your act together. Something else that might be said is either shape up or ship out. This means get your act together or get out of my life. So ship up or shape out, or shape up or ship out. You can't teach old dogs new tricks. This means that certain people are stuck in their ways, and once you reach a certain age, you can't learn something new. Like perhaps your grandfather is having a very difficult time learning how to use social media or Facebook on a computer. He might tell you, I'm sorry, you just can't teach old dogs new tricks. This means, what do they say? It's hard to get people to change their habits and learn new things. Yes, but it refers to certain people. It refers to people that are older, not young. You would not tell a young person that old dogs can't learn new tricks. This is only refers to people that are used to doing things a certain way and have done it for a long time, many years, and then there's change, and the change is just too drastic for them to be able to learn. So you would say you can't teach old dogs new tricks, meaning some people are just set in their ways. If they've done a job a certain way for 20 or 40 years, and all of a sudden a new way of doing it comes along, it's not going to be easy for them to make the change and do things completely differently than they're used to. We are having this in our culture wars in the United States. There are many people stuck in their ways that historically have been acceptable for hundreds of years, and now they're expected to change. And they try and use the excuse, you can't teach old dogs new tricks, but we don't like that excuse when it comes to certain things. So you can either use this for yourself to say you're having difficulty, or use it on someone else, which becomes kind of insulting. Has the cat got your tongue? That means you're being very quiet. You're not talking. You're in a room, people are talking, or someone's asking you questions, and all of a sudden you're not talking. You're very quiet. You're not usually quiet. Someone would say, what's the matter? Cat got your tongue? So when you ask somebody if the cat has your tongue, you're asking them, why are they quiet all of a sudden? Why aren't you talking? So, cat have your tongue? Why aren't you talking? Why are you being so quiet? Curiosity killed the cat. This means that while curiosity is a good trait, sometimes being too curious can get you into trouble. Perhaps, for example, you're a news reporter and you're curious about a situation that's happening, and your curiosity stumbles you into a criminal act. And because you were curious and you followed leads, it ended you up in a situation and it killed you. So curiosity killed the cat. It doesn't always literally mean it kills you. Generally, it means curiosity can get you into trouble. Asking too many questions can get you into trouble. If you know too much by asking too many questions, in some situations, in some worlds, this can get you into a lot of trouble. So it doesn't necessarily mean asking unnecessary questions may get you into trouble. These questions may be very necessary. So you can even be asking completely legitimate questions, but these questions down the line, since you have the answers or got into a situation from the answers, got you into trouble or got you killed. Hold your horses. This expression comes from before automobiles, of course, when people got around by horses. It's a way of saying, hang on, wait a minute. You know, nowadays people would drive off. Before cars, they would ride their horses away. So we're telling you, wait, stop, hold your horses, meaning don't leave yet. Hang on, one moment, please. Wait a minute. Saying hold your horses is a little bit more than just saying wait a minute. Hold your horses shows that you are not quite happy with being rushed, and it's kind of a way of letting people know that they're pushing you to do something too quickly and they're too much in a hurry to do something. So you're like, whoa, hold your horses. So you could politely say, excuse me, wait a minute. Well, hold your horses does not come out in the same way. You could not politely say, oh, please hold your horses. It's not used that way. It's used as, whoa, hold your horses. Hang on a minute. Before you do that, give me a minute. Let me think, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. So hold your horses is a louder expression of your thoughts of telling somebody to wait a moment. Get off your high horse. This is when someone is acting better than everyone else. They think they're better, they're greater, they're higher in society, or they're taking the high road. And it's basically telling them to stop acting that way, come back down to who you really are, and stop acting like, don't be so stuck up. Stop thinking you are better than others. That's basically what it means, but it can be used in quite a few other situations. When someone is high-roading you, meaning they're using, you are in an argument and they are using the moral high ground when themselves are not usually very good in moral character, you'd say, get off your high horse, meaning you're being hypocritical. You're taking the high road and acting all high and mighty, but you do the exact opposite. So get off your high horse. I was a fish out of water at my new school. A fish out of water, well, obviously, can a fish out of water survive? No. Where do fish live? They live in water. So a fish out of water would be completely unnatural. So if you feel like a fish out of water, you feel completely out of place. For example, when I first came to Vietnam and went to my wife's village, I felt like a fish out of water. It was a completely different world, completely different language. I couldn't understand anything. All the culture was very different. The traditions were very different. It was nothing like my world. So I was a fish out of water. I didn't belong at my new school. No, it doesn't mean you don't belong. Just because you feel like a fish out of water, it just means you don't feel how you naturally feel. You're in a completely different situation than you're used to. So you could completely belong somewhere, but still feel like a fish out of water. So this is not an accurate description of the meaning. Winning a gold medal was just icing on the cake. Think of a cake by itself. A cake is still delicious. And then you add frosting. The frosting makes it taste even better. But you already had a cake. And you'd be happy with just that cake. By adding frosting, you're just making the cake that much more delicious. So adding icing on the cake is where you already have a good or great situation and something comes along and makes it even better. Like perhaps you won a new car. Okay, winning a new car, that's great. And then you find out you've also won a year's supply of gasoline or petrol for your car for the year. That's just icing on the cake. The main prize was the car. You're happy you won a car. Now you find out you don't have to pay for gas for the car for a year either. So that's just a bonus. That's icing on the cake. Winning a gold medal was something additional that turns good into great. I don't like this explanation. No. Use my explanation. Icing on the cake is where you already had something great and you got something that was just a bonus that made something good even better. Without that icing, the cake is still great. But with the icing, you like frosting, it makes the cake even better. So it's just making one situation that's good becoming even better. Icing on the cake. Let's call it a day. That means we're done with work. Let's finish up. To call it a day means you're done with work. It's time to quit what we were doing. Yeah, it's pretty basic, pretty much what it means. We don't see eye to eye. It means we disagree. We don't see things the same way. We disagree on a certain topic, a certain position. Anything we don't agree on, you say we don't see eye to eye, or you just have different ways of doing things from someone else. We don't agree. Yes, that's basically what it means. When you don't see eye to eye, you don't agree. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wolves like to eat sheep. So a wolf is bad for a herd of sheep. So if the wolf wants to get in with the sheep, it dresses like a sheep. And then the wolf is among the sheep, but it's really not a sheep. It's a predator that's hungry to eat those sheep. So to say he's a wolf in sheep's clothing means he may act and look harmless and innocent, but he's actually the opposite, very dangerous and just pretending to be something that he's not. He was a person who pretends to be nice but is not. Yes, that is one definition, but it can be a lot more dangerous than that. It can actually be like a predator, an extremely bad person, just pretending to go along with everyone else when their sole purpose is actually something very, very bad, terrible. He's a wolf in sheep's clothes. She was making a mountain out of a molehill over the mess. A molehill is very small. A mole animal that burrows through the ground and leaves little mounds of dirt. So perhaps there's a very small problem. This problem is not very big. A mountain is huge. It's very high. So to say she was making a mountain out of a molehill is saying that she made a small issue seem much, much larger than it actually was. The person is overreacting. It's a very small problem, a very small issue that somebody is making a huge deal out of, as if the world is going to end over it. Something very small and insignificant. Perhaps you took your friend to a restaurant and the salad fork wasn't chilled, it wasn't cold. Everything else about the meal was great, the restaurant was great, the food was great, but a salad fork is supposed to be cold. And the whole night's ruined, the restaurant's terrible, all because the salad fork wasn't chilled. That would be making a mountain out of a molehill. She was making something that is not important into a big deal. Yes. Don't cry crocodile tears. Crocodile tears means fake tears. Anyone that has children know that by a certain age, the children know how to fake cry. When they want something, they'll make crocodile tears, meaning they're only crying for attention. They're not real tears. They didn't get hurt. I might tell my children when they were young and they wanted something, or they pretend to get hurt and they start tearing, I'd say, stop your crocodile tears. That means, I know you're faking, they're not real tears. So crocodile tears are fake tears. Also, someone pretending to be upset. So somebody that's getting all upset, crying, but it's completely fake, crocodile tears. Do you want a doggy bag? A doggy bag. When you go out to eat and you can't finish whatever you ordered, you ask for a doggy bag. A doggy bag is where they wrap it up for you to take home. This originally comes from whatever was left over from your meal, you would bring home and give to your dog. And that's how it got the name doggy bag. But now doggy bag just means the leftovers from your meal prepared to take home after you're done eating. Do you want to take a bag of leftovers home from the restaurant? That bag is a doggy bag. He is a bit of a bird brain. Okay, birds don't have the biggest brains. So you're basically calling someone stupid. If you call someone a bird brain, you're saying they're an idiot, they're dumb, they're stupid. He's not very smart. No, you're calling them, you're not saying he's not very smart, you're directly saying they're stupid or an idiot or dumb. He is a bull in a china shop. It's an old idiom, haven't heard that in a while. She is very clumsy? No. These two do not go together. Bull in a china shop is something more I would use on, let's say, when my son was 4. He's full of energy, would run around and knock into things all over the place. And let's say we were gonna go someplace nice, I'd say we need to be careful. My son's like a bull in a china shop, meaning that you need to protect all your valuable things from him breaking them. So it's not necessarily being clumsy, as 4-year-olds are just full of energy. There's a few other meanings I won't get into. Your goose is cooked. Means you're dead meat. You're fried. You're over. You're done. We've got you. you are in trouble. Yes, your goose is cooked. Basically, there's no getting out of the problem you're in. All the evidence is there, been caught red-handed, your career is over. Let's say you've done something and somebody recorded it, your goose is cooked. Like, there's no getting out of this trouble. You're over and done with. A little birdie told me. This is when you find out a secret or something and someone's like, who told you that? You would respond, oh, just a little birdie. It's more than just someone told you a secret. It's when you want to be discreet and not tell somebody where you heard it. It's a way of letting somebody know that you know their secret or you know what they're up to without telling them how you found out about it. So perhaps somebody was secretively working against you and someone told you the plan and you confronted the person and they're like, how did you know that? Oh, a little birdie told me. So that's your way of letting them know that you found out the secret, but you're not going to tell them who told you. I feel under the weather. This means I don't feel well. Like, how do you feel in a rainstorm or a thunderstorm? It's not comfortable for most. Some people love it. I love thunderstorms. But in general, to feel under the weather means to feel sick, to feel ill, to not be having a great day. So I feel sick. Yes, I feel under the weather. I feel sick. He gave the lady the cold shoulder. To give someone the cold shoulder means to completely ignore them. Perhaps your spouse is angry with you, and the way they punish you is by completely ignoring you. This is them giving you the cold shoulder. When someone gives you the cold shoulder, you are being completely ignored. So he ignored the lady. Yes, it's exactly what it means to give someone the cold shoulder, to ignore them. I feel blue. Blue, sad, depressed, upset, worried. I feel so blue today. Again, just to feel sad. I feel sad. Don't get cold feet. Means don't get nervous and have second thoughts. If you do have cold feet, it means you changed your mind. The example in the picture is a very good example. Let's say you're at a wedding and either the bride, the woman, or the groom, the male, getting married, can't go through with it. They changed their mind. They had cold feet. Have cold feet is to change your mind and not go through with something. Perhaps you were supposed to do something. I mean, these are usually major events that you have cold feet in. Maybe all your friends are jumping into the pool off of a tall diving board. And when it comes your turn, you get up to the top, look at the water, it scares you, and you climb back down and don't jump. You got cold feet. So to have cold feet is to get nervous, have second thoughts, but generally if you actually have cold feet, you don't go through with something. The bride had cold feet and didn't get married. Because she had cold feet, she didn't go through with it. She changed her mind. She's got a bee in her bonnet. This is not common in the United States. Perhaps in the South, in the southern regions, it is. I have never used this before, but I have heard it. She's got a bee in her bonnet means she's upset about something. So if you can tell someone is really upset, you'd be like, wow, she's got a bee in her bonnet, or is there a bee in her bonnet? Meaning she's obviously upset about something. So these are some of the few idioms that I've seen. I'll work on doing some more. I hope this helps some of you out there. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Bye.